Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I am back today to show you the finished project of my Christmas Girls Storybook journal. I've decided to call this Abigail's Christmas book because I'm going to give it to my great niece, Abigail. I'm going to go through and tell you a couple of things again because the introduction video wasn't the greatest thing I ever did, so we'll just make this a complete video of the project. I have used mainly the Dressed for Christmas junk journal pages and cute Christmas Girls clip art and fussy cuts from Polka Art Studio. And I have also used elements from the Elegant Victorian Christmas kit by Shabby Art Boutique for the craft room. I enjoyed doing this, using these primarily, and then picking and choosing from other things that I have. Some of these sayings in here are from Angela Kerr's, one of her Christmas kits. So I guess I'm saying that to tell you that if you hang on to all your little pieces that you haven't used, papers that you haven't used, you might find one for a focal point and then enhance it with what you already have. This is a storybook, and I envision that my brother Donnie, who is Abigail's grandfather, or his wife Sherry, the grandmother, will enjoy sitting down and reading this book to Abigail. They'll have to tell her to be careful not to bend and destroy the papers in the book. But as she grows older, she'll learn to read these stories herself, and I'm hoping this will become a keepsake for her. This is a book I bought many years ago. It was produced by Avon in 1989. It's just a group of Christmas stories about children. And there's 5 or 6 stories in here. And so I just chose to embellish the cover, and then also throughout the book embellish some of the pages to keep it interesting for her. And I've tucked in a couple of surprises that I think she will enjoy. I decided to tie it closed with this ribbon. I took apart a bow that was made out of this plaid, and I liked it because the red and green is throughout this journal. And it's wired ribbon, and I tied it on loosely, so I think I can just slide it off. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Okay, I'll just slide that off. And let me just tell you quickly about the cover. I used to paint on books, so I had prepared this one to paint, which I never did do. But it was a black crackle medium that I painted on, and then a tan color over it, and it made the paint crackle. Then I would paint on it, and whatever picture I painted on there would also crackle. Gave it an aged antique look. And I never did do that, so I just used that for a background here. If you hear someone chewing in the background, my dog has his bone to entertain him, so he doesn't bark while I'm doing this. I have a big red standard poodle, and he's such a good dog to lay in here with me while I do these videos. So I gave him that bone today. It's kind of noisy. All these pictures feature little girls, and I think you'll enjoy seeing them as we go through. I just cut half of the page and used the pictures that were there, and then some of the pages I cut apart and used. I've inked around everything so that it has an aged look. The poinsettias and the baubles and the bow came from the Shabby Art Boutique kit. And this is one of Angela Kerr's little sayings from one of her kits. This is some beautiful lace that I ordered from Amazon, and I hadn't used it on anything yet, and it really stood out on this cover, I think. And then I wanted the baubles to look like they were hanging from the bow, and I used this gold trim that my mother had given me from when she made the Victorian ornaments. Okay, so I'm just going to open this and go through it. I think I've got the camera so you can see both pages. Over here in the inside front cover, I chose to use a Christmas house. And I've used very thin laces and so that this book didn't get real fat. And I tried to keep it simple so that there weren't things that Abigail could pull off and choke on or whatever. So these little girls I was able to print and cut with my Cricut. They were from the Cute Christmas Girls Clip Art and Fussy Cuts Polka Art Studio. And so I've used the journal pages and some of the elements from them, and also just the little girls. Over here I have said this book belongs to Abigail, made with love, from Aunt Carolyn. This picture here had a little door on it, so I had the door open, and it says I love you behind it. These little ovals, some of these I'm not sure where I got them. I have a whole sheet of little Christmas type pictures, and I used them a little bit in here. This is the title page, and there were some blank areas up here, so I cut part off of one of these pictures and then added my little girl on top and the words gladness and cheer. I had some note music background paper, and so I couldn't find my real music for some reason. I have a whole book of it, and so I decided to use that as a background on this page. This envelope is from one of Shabby Art Boutique's kits, and it just opens up and has a little scene with a stack of gifts. I may go back and put something significant on the back here. I didn't go that far today, but this just ties closed. I thought that would be a fun little surprise for Abigail before the stories start. This says, I hope the holiday season sends you over the rainbow and under the mistletoe. Over here, this is the title page for Santa's New Helper with a little girl that I print and cut, and the word joy. I haven't read all the stories, but this one is about a little girl that was having trouble going to sleep on Christmas Eve. She kept checking to see if Santa Claus was there. During the night, she had a dream that Santa came in her room, and she saw him in the doorway here. And he picked her up and took her out and let her help him fill her stocking. But when she got up the next morning, the stocking was fixed exactly like it was in her dream. So she decided that Santa Claus came to her. The Santa Claus that came to her in her dreams was the real Santa Claus. I used a portion of one of the pages from the kit and made a pocket and added the little girl, and then cut out the sack of toys and put that in the pocket. Again, I could put something on the back here. And we have the word joy. This is a little story about a choir that was practicing, and they kept hearing this echo of a voice up from the balcony in the church. And they kept stopping and starting again, and they'd hear the echo again. On this page, I chose to add some music notes since they were singing with the little girl and the words merry and bright. It turned out there was a little boy up in the balcony who sang the song better than they did. So they featured him then on the Christmas service and let him sing. Over here, I just added a pocket from the pages and cut out the center of the page for a tag. And the words gladness and cheer. Now that's as far as I read. I'm sure the other stories are just as precious as those were. And I added my little girl here, and I thought this just kind of looked like a little package. This story has something to do with the celebration of the Three Kings. I made a pocket here with another one of my little girls, and I tucked inside some elements from Shabby Art Boutique kit that I had printed out and not used, and a little paper that says naughty or nice. A feast to remember. Looks like one of our wonderful Christmas family dinners. And I cut out this little girl and put her there. After all, this is Abigail's book, and she'll enjoy seeing all these little girls throughout here. This one, I just kind of fussy cut her out, standing among the poinsettias and things in front of a fireplace. All things bright and beautiful. This story is the Tree of Life, and I added one of our beautiful little girls here. And that's the end of the stories. So this was basically an empty page except for the copyright information, and I thought the date was neat, 1989, so I wanted to make sure that showed. I cut out a portion of one of the pages from the kit, added my notes and some other elements here. Over here, I used one of the pages from the kit with a little girl standing in the snow, some lace and Merry Christmas, and then a little envelope up here with a rose from Shabby Art Boutique. And it opens up and just has a little card inside that says family. And let's see, there's 2 more pages. I thought these were sweet together, the bird house and the little girl standing outside with the birds. I trimmed with the lace and added 2 of my little girls and some music notes. So that's Abigail's Christmas book, and I have it finished, so I can put this in my packages when I send to my family in Texas this year. I hope you've enjoyed this, and maybe it's given you an idea of how to make a book for someone. I've done altered books before where you don't really focus on the stories or whatever is in the book. You embellish all the pages and make pockets and all. But this one I wanted all the story to show. And it was arranged in such a way that there was plenty of room for me to add the beautiful decorations that I chose. So I hope you all will have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and have enjoyed this presentation of this book. I had fun making it. I did it in an afternoon once I had the stuff together and the ideas. Remember, every day's a gift. Always look for the joy in each day and share it with those you meet along the way. Christmas can be a lonely time for some, so be sure and get out there and get yourself involved. If you're the one that's lonely, go to church, go to some of the Christmas programs, go shopping, call a friend to go out to eat, do something that gets yourself out so you don't feel depressed at Christmas time. And in the process of doing that, you will be reaching out to someone else. So I've got some more projects coming up, I think. I'm not sure. I've got a gratitude journal that I'm working on, and I have quite a few more Christmas things that I'd like to make. So I'll be back soon. I'm trying to focus on this while they're remodeling in my home here, and it keeps me busy and out of their way. So I should have a video for you with some kind of a project every 2-3 days. So be sure and come back often and check to see what I've done. And if you're new to my channel, go back. I have 206 videos of beautiful projects all through the last 2 years. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you soon.